Jim says, Derek, thanks a lot for bringing Jake. It's always great to see you two together in webinars and especially in person. I know this is still a mentoring course, but also want to thank you for your help with my portfolio in recent days and weeks in a time which I definitely was much more emotional about stocks than usual. It helped me to make millions, and it definitely saved me millions that I would have otherwise lost or missed out on. Very excited about Markets Mastery and looking forward to seeing you in person in 3 weeks. Yeah, Tim and I were having a little text conversation earlier this morning, and he's writing me from Europe, and asking me a couple specific things about his stock portfolio. And I don't think you're necessarily wrong, Tim, but anything can happen. We were talking about Nordstrom specifically, and the stock Nordstrom, they have a buyout offer for $23 today. Well, the stock's right around $23. Let's see where it closed at the end of the day. But the stock's right around $23 with that buyout offer. It's at $22.78. And he's like, well, if probably the offer is going to get rejected, and then the stock will go down, and so on and so on. I'm like, yeah, that might be true, or the offer is so low that maybe Sycamore Capital or some other big fund comes in and says, oh, $23, we'll pay $27, and now you're in a whole different game. So if there's a pending offer for 23, and another firm comes in and out of the blue, they just do a press release, say, hey, we're going to offer 27. We're going to offer 29. Well, now you got a bidding situation where do you think the family wants to not win that bid? No, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it very well could happen. I think 23 is too low for the stock. I think it should be in the low 30s. I think it should be 32 or 34, really. I think it's about $10 off. Now, I own 300,000 shares at the moment, so the extra $10 is $3 million to me. For what I think the price should be about a $3 million difference for me. So, Tim was like, well, if it doesn't go through, maybe they're gonna, the stock will go down. And, yeah, that's true. That could happen. Or again, they'll just increase the bid because they're not gonna accept a bid for $23. It's an opening bid. So they're gonna ask for more money. They say, nope, that's not enough. And then they're gonna bid it up to 25 or more. And then, the big thing is if another firm comes in, and, I think just back in May, about 4 months ago, Sycamore was sniffing around and interested in buying the company. And if that happens, if you get a bidding war, you might get into, high 20s or low 30s. And then it's harder for the board to say no. And then, then as regarding emotionality around volatility, it's like, bro, if you pay short-term taxes instead of long-term taxes, you pay 37% instead of 20% on capital gains tax. You pay in the United States, you pay 37% instead of 20%. That's 85% extra. Your tax bill's 85% extra if you don't hold it for at least 12 months. So if every time there's a little volatility in the market because somebody makes an offer, or some analyst writes a shitty report, or things that are good or bad happen. There's a good quarter in earnings. There's a bad quarter in earnings. I don't give a what the quarterly report says. I do a little bit, but I just look at the bigger picture. All right, are things moving in the right direction, or what would have to be true for this stock to go up significantly? And I think over time the stock goes up significantly. I think at some point in the future it might be a $50 or $65 stock if it isn't get taken private first. That might take a few years, so maybe I'd rather have $32 or $34 today, to say $33 is to split the difference type of thing, but I'd rather have $33 today than $50 in a few years, because I can turn that money into more than $50 within that time frame. But what I don't want to do is sell shit with long-term holdings and pay 37% in taxes, which is about double. It's 85% more than you'd have to pay if you held it long-term. I don't want to. I'm not a trader. I'm an investor. I'm not a trader. Traders are losers. Traders go broke. There's zero, day trading. You see all this bullshit on the internet. Day trading. There's zero day trading billionaires. There's zero of them have $1 billion. Zero. None. There's, close to 3,000 billionaires in the world. Why are none of them day traders?
Good point.
Oh, because you can't fucking predict what's going to happen prices don't move substantially in a day's time or in an hour's time. Because something would have to happen to the stock. It'd be like, imagine if you bought an oak tree and then you thought like an hour later, how much bigger is the oak tree an hour later?
Not much.
It's a fucking tree. So if you bought a seasoned business, if you bought a big business, what could happen in a couple hours time that the business would be so much more valuable?
Yeah, not much.
So Apple's been around for what, 40, 50 years. If you bought Apple, $3 trillion business, big business, what would have to happen for it to go to $3.5 trillion, to go up even, 16-17% this afternoon? Like,
nothing really. That'd be some kind of crazy announcement of some crazy new product, which is unlikely there'll be that much interest.
It can't go up 10% in a day. Like, it basically can't. It'd be very hard.
It's too big.
It's something that's so big it can't go up 10%. It can go down 10% in a day. It can go down 10% because there's bad news, but there's not good news that would be substantial enough that the fucking thing's going up.
Yeah, hundreds of billions of dollars of buying. That would be, it's not realistic.
So it's like if you bought an oak tree, is the oak tree like, I bought that thing at noon and now it's 1:30. The tree's worth more. It's bigger than it was when I bought it. Like, what could you sell the tree for an hour and a half later? It's ridiculous. It's like anything that. How much better can your jiu-jitsu skills be in a couple hours time, in an hour or two?
I've trained so many years, so very little. I might could learn one new move occasionally that can help, but it's a slow process.
Yeah, and the point I'm making is anything that's valuable is that slow process. Yeah. Everything that's valuable.
Oh no, yeah, it takes time, and you're aware of that. Years, I mean, you're going to point your training yesterday where the skills have shot up, but it's been, kind of insanely quick, a little 3.5 years, but still that was everyday training. But it's just one day at a time, you don't notice it. But I come out every month, so I can notice a difference in that. If I come train with you every day, I won't notice a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, and I try to make sure there's a difference a month later. But, they're gradients, little gradients. But, in 3 months, there's a notable difference every 3 months. Every 3 months, there's a notable difference. People that come here every 3 months are like, oh, shit. All right, good. And I make sure of that I'd be kind of embarrassed or feel stupid if that wasn't true, that somebody didn't see me for 3 months and we'll get back on the mats together and they can't see, like...
Any improvement, It means you're not doing something right.
Yeah. I'd feel bad about that. I wouldn't allow that to happen. So anything that's big is going to take time for big moves.
I had a question real quick. What's... So if they sell it to Nordstrom, what happens to this? Because I have Nordstrom stock. We just get paid out on what it goes for?
Well, if the board of directors votes to sell it for a private takeover, then you don't have a choice. I mean, you could sell your shares ahead of time, but you don't have a choice. That they take your shares and they give you the cash value that was agreed upon, and there'll be cash in your account, but the shares are gone.
Interesting. Okay.
And nothing wrong about that. Yeah. Nothing bad about that.
Yeah, because they're basically offering what it's going for right now.
Yeah, they might. It'll get bid up higher. It's not going to sell for $23, but it might sell for, the bid might go to $24.50, and then maybe they say $27. And the big thing that could happen, I'm not saying it will happen, but the big thing that could happen that would be a real driver is if you had a second big company, a second well-funded private equity firm or something that came in. And that could happen because they're only offering $4 billion, less than $4 billion. So there's plenty of big private equity firms that have 3, 4, 5 billion around. So and again, Sycamore Partners, they made a big offer on Kohl's a few years ago. They offered $63, I think, for Kohl's. Maybe they offered more, I don't remember. I sold it at that time, and then Kohl's today is $20.
Yeah, because I would say Kohl's and Nordstrom's way bigger than. It seems way bigger to Kohl's than me.
So Sycamore tried to buy Kohl's a few years ago. In the past, the Nordstrom family in 2018 offered $50 a share. They're offering $23 right now. So 6 years ago they offered $50. Yeah, and now they're only offering $23 for the same thing.
It's a good chance it could go way back up.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to go to 50 right now, but what I'm saying about getting to 32 or 34 is not a crazy idea. Yeah. I'm not saying it'll happen for sure. For that to happen, you need a second player that wants to buy it. So you need Sycamore or somebody else to come back in and be like, yeah, we'll pay more. We'll pay more. And then the family has to get to talk to their partners. The family owns 44%. I think that's true, 44%. And they got to talk to whoever else is going to fund it to pitch in for the other 56%. Are they willing to? How much are they willing to offer? But again, 6 years ago they were offering $50. And then if you think about inflation, $50, you'd have to have, $70 or so today, high 60s today to have the same purchasing power as $50 6 years ago. So, inflation has been more than 30% in 6 years. So, again, you'd have to have something close to $70 today to have the same real offer. And they're offering a third of that. They're offering 23. So they're basically offering a third of what they offered in real terms just 6 years ago. So there's room that it can go up. There's room that it can go up. And but the main point I mean to make is I don't buy and sell shit rapidly. I buy boring shit that doesn't look good, that other people are like, oh, that's not popular right now. Oh, that's not the trendy thing right now. Oh, interest rates are high and it'll be a couple of years before that company can be doing good again. That's great. I don't mind sitting through a macroeconomic cycle and having a high level of certainty of, millions or tens of millions of dollars that if interest rates went down, back to 3%, I'll probably make, $30-ish million just on the interest rate change. And guess what? Both sides of the political spectrum would like to have the interest rates lower. As soon as they can finagle that and lie about their CPI numbers, it's the truth though. The CPI is a total fraud. Consumer Price Index. Consumer Price Index is a total fraud. As soon as they can lie about those numbers, even more than they do, they're going to lower the interest rates some more and some more and some more. If they don't lower the interest rates, right now you don't have jobs. Job creation is very slow. You're reading new headlines about that today. It's hard to get a job. There's not a lot of job offering that's out there. A lot of people are getting laid off, including from big tech companies. A couple more years, all those people are going to get laid off more as the AI can write its own code. Those people that thought they had safe computer jobs, technology jobs, they're going to get laid off too. Because they did such a good job at their technology that now the technology can outperform them.
Actually, some people are already using AR to help write their code. There are people who do that. They say they already have the AR, does a lot of it. They just kind of monitor it. Pretty crazy, like computer engineers.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly how it works, but they say it's already helping them.
Yeah, I'm not a computer engineer, but I've heard the same thing. They can use the AI to write code for some projects, and that'll get more advanced. In 2 years, it'll be exponentially advanced. So, hey, I don't know. I think anything that's substantial, if you're waiting for a substantial change in the price of something, you got to be patient. And in the short term, you might be wrong. In the short term, you could look around the market and say, "Oh, I should have bought this. I should have done that." All right, if you want to pay 37% in taxes instead of 20%, you could do that. You can pay double the taxes, and be a little frantic in your buying and selling. You don't get paid to buy and sell. You get paid to be patient. You get paid to buy high quality assets and sit on them until the rest of the world wakes up and says, "Oh, that's more valuable than we were thinking in the past." Well, I guess we're going to pay up now. We're going to pay up more for it now.
Where a lot of people really mess up is they panic sell when things go really bad. I'm sure you've seen that, right? I've had friends, they start selling when things are crashing.
Those are my favorites. I love those people. I love those people. Everything you see here, all this nice stuff.
For them.
All this nice stuff is because of them. There's so much more truth to that than, if that sounds like a joke, there's so much more truth to that than you possibly imagine.
And your place is pretty nice. I don't think I've seen it. It's not bad.
We're doing okay. We're doing okay over here. Doing okay. I'm going to need a few more statues for the new real estate acquisition. Need a few more statues. Other than that, we're doing okay. Don't be frantic. Don't be panicked that you got to buy something now or sell something now. There's a time to be aggressive in that, but just every time the headline comes out that there's a little headline news. Okay, and so what? And if Nordstrom goes from it was at $13 not long ago, it was at 12 something, and now it's 23. So I'm up $10 on it. I think I own it for 16 on average, something like that. So I'm already up a couple million. And if things go well, I'll be up a few more million. If things go very well, I'll be up 10 million. So I don't give a fuck. I don't mind if. For it to go back to, we're talking, throwing some numbers around $65, $70 in real terms, inflation adjusted, that means. So in inflation adjusted real terms, this company would have to be about $70 today to get the same valuation as the $50 offer they made back in 2018. If that thing went anywhere close to that, $50 is $47, $70 is $47 of upside. 47. It doesn't need to go up $47. If it went up $30, I make an extra $9 million. I'd make $11 million total if it went up $30. So I don't mind if I sit on it, and at some point in the future, I'll collect my little dividend. I think they pay me, $57,000 a quarter. So I get paid like $228,000 a year to sit and do nothing, just from that company. So I'll collect my little dividend. It's about $19,000 a month, it turns out to. They pay it quarterly. I think the dividend's 19 cents times 300,000. So I get paid $19,000 a month to wait.
Not too bad.
And someday in the future, if I get 10 million out of it, great. 10 million in profits, not 10 million back, but I'll get all my money back. I'll make 10 million. I get paid $19,000 a month to wait. Cool, sweet. And when I go to pay taxes on that, I'm gonna pay $2 million in taxes instead of $3.7 million.
You watch this video all the way through, and that tells me you're dedicated to learning more and earning far above average outcomes in your life. Congratulations for that. But now it's time to take action. If you could have earned those results by yourself, you would have done it already. My head coach has opened up a few spots on his high-demand calendar for an in-person, one-on-one strategy session to help you. On this call, we'll give you the pragmatic advice that you can implement tonight to get laser-focused on the right metrics and leave mediocrity far behind in your past. Click that link right now in the description below and apply for your call immediately. Do it now.